What is happening, everyone? Welcome to Dr. Prepper. Today we're going to be talking about redundancy in your preparations, in your gear, and why it is ultimately very important for anyone who is new coming into the preparedness world, getting gear, looking at different gear, trying to decide what you need and everything associated with picking up gear for your preparedness and survival journey. You're going to hear a lot that 2 is 1, 1 is none, and that couldn't be more true. And I'd like to hone in on a comment that I just recently got from someone who saw my fire starter video, which didn't do so well, but that is okay. And he asked, don't you feel like, in other words, don't you feel like having more than one item is going overboard? A Bic lighter can start 1,000 campfires, is basically what they said. And although he might be right, he or she might be right, a Bic lighter might start 1,000 campfires. I think on average, they have 3,000 or 4,000 lights, but that is for that second. So you get about 3,000 or 4,000 1-second lights. That's what Bic says that the standard size lighter can get. But who's to say it's only going to take that 1 second to start a fire, right? So fluid is going to be an issue. What if the button gets depressed in your bag, in your pouch, in your pocket, and all the fluid is gone? What if it gets frozen or wet or dirt caked in it or sand? And basically what I'm getting at is, what if the Bic lighter goes down and this is all you have? You are in and you need some light, you need some heat, you're in the dark, you need light, heat, and to keep predators at bay. You are stranded and you need to boil some water for purity reasons. You are shit out of luck. To have redundancy in your equipment is key. One thing that I live by is I would rather have it and never need it than need it and not have it. And I suggest, if you are new, even if you're not new and you don't live by that motto, I would highly suggest starting to tell yourself that. And all the items that you could use in a preparedness situation, a survival situation, I don't care if it's a pocket knife, a lighter, a compass, a power station, an e-tool, it does not matter. A generator, any one item that you could pick has multiple uses for multiple scenarios. It doesn't have to be just a preparedness situation or a survival situation. It can be just going out and about on your daily life, at work, on the weekend, carrying items and using items just in an everyday basis. Knives, lighters, all kinds of different things. Camping, spares in case something happens to your main item that you're using. We're talking in broad terms here, but it is key to have duplicate items in whatever item we are talking about. I have found that the 1 is none and 2 is 1 is very true, because it just takes that one thing to break, run out of battery, run out of fluid, whatever it might be, and that item is potentially useless or at least down until you can get it back up and running or fixed. And to say that you would have the necessary things to get it back up and running while you're in a bad situation is probably going to be very minimal that you would have those items to fix whatever it might be. Now, I don't want people to feel overwhelmed or anything like that and feel like they need to go out and buy, 5 or 10 Bic lighters, a Zippo, a Titanlight, a bunch of weatherproof and stormproof matches, a ferro rod, and any other piece of gear that will spark or light you a fire. I'm not saying that you have to run out and buy 10 different pieces for one thing right now. It's something that you acquire over time, and it's 100% true. When I really first started getting into the different odds and ends of gear, and I consider gear everything. Generators, power stations, all that stuff is gear. Your weapons, all of it is all gear to me. And when I first started really getting into, I come from projectile weapons, ammo, and that sort of thing. And that's kind of how I started into all of this. And camping before that, but I really got sucked in to this by just naturally happening and having children, and it becoming more apparent that I don't want to be stuck. Even if the World War III is not breaking out, even if the Russians aren't storming into our country, it could be as simple as breaking down in the winter in your vehicle with your family, and it's 10 degrees outside and there's snow on the ground and nobody's coming to help you. I don't want to be helpless in a situation like that. And you can insert any type of situation that you could find yourself in. I don't want to be unprepared for that situation if I can help myself. And that is my key, to be as ready for any type of situation that could present itself to me. I want to be able to handle it. And even if it's not to me, if a friend or a family member finds themselves in a situation and I can help, I will, and I want to. I can't tell you how many different times I've used different pieces of my own gear, my own equipment, to help someone else out because they didn't have it. And then they tell me how they feel because they didn't have the stuff that they needed. And some of them people started getting on board with just getting prepared. And I think it's such a... Getting prepared has this bad omen around it or something. It's when people hear getting prepared, they think of this most extreme thing. And what I consider is getting prepared is just not being stupid. Don't be stupid. To live your life lackadaisically and living in the sunshine every day like nothing will ever happen ever. And there are people that go through life that never experience any hard times or any true situation that could cause them harm or be very devastating. There are people like that, but for the majority of us, bad shit happens to us all the time. And as much as you can help it, you want to be ready for that. It's just like the stocking up on food and the water and putting some cash back and that sort of thing. That type of stuff not only will help you if shit gets really bad, but it'll help you in the sense that if you lose your job or you have to get a surgery and you can't work for a while or whatever it might be, you have some food and supplies to fall back on and kind of ease that burden of losing some income for a while. And that's what all of this, we can put it in a bunch of different views like that. But that's what all this stuff is for. It's for just in case, you know. And to what extreme you want to take that to, or to what level you want to take that to, is totally up to you, you know. And I think people who are really indulged and involved with this sort of thing have went through some things in their life that has made them realize this is a good idea, you know. And it's something that you find yourself doing, and then eventually you become what you are trying to do. And I want to reiterate, I know at this point in time, the economy is not very good. And like I said earlier, I don't want people to feel overwhelmed that you might not have everything you need. And believe me, very few people in the world, in the country, are completely self-sustaining and have everything they could possibly need. Even someone who's been doing it for years and years and years still needs certain things, still needs to work on certain things, still needs to stock up on food, still needs to run a garden or some semblance of growing food, you know, all those sort of things. I've been doing this for hardcore for over 5 years now, and I've acquired a lot of things, a lot of gear, a lot of skills, a lot of different mindsets on all of this, stored up a lot of different things. And there's still things I need. There's still things I need to back up. There's still things I need to work on. So it's not something, it's something that you continue doing day by day, week by week, month by month, and then year by year. You will, if you stick with it and don't give up on it, you will start to find that you have a lot of bases covered when it comes to running into any given situation that you might run into. So the whole point is, it's not a bad idea to have a couple different folding pocket knives. It's not a bad idea to have some different ways to start fires. It's not a bad idea to have a couple power stations or portable batteries, and just back your stuff up when you can with other stuff, with other backups. It is key, because you should know that items that you may have are potentially prone to breaking or not working properly, and it's a good thing to have something stored away as a backup. And you know, you might be able to get yourself a premium knife and a cheaper knife. Use your cheaper knife and you have your good one ready to go if something happens to this one, or vice versa. Use your very good knife and, you know, it'll last you a long time. It'll probably hold up for a very long time. But if something happens to it, you can get out your backup. And you can view every single item, paracord, lighters, knives, tents, you know, everything that I've mentioned. Consider backing that up with something else in the same vein. And if you can, back that up with something else. So you have a couple of things to fall back on if something happens. So all that being said, that is why 2 is 1 and 1 is none. And I would like to get that across to as many people as possible. I know a lot of people are new. A lot of people are just coming in. A lot of people don't understand. And that is what I'm trying to do here, to kind of broaden your view, open your eyes, and trying to connect the dots and make it make sense. And the more you are involved, the more it will start to make sense, the more your eyes will start to open, and it'll just start coming to you naturally. You know, the different scenarios, the different things that can happen, you start to put things back and prepare for those certain things. I'd like to stress also that storing up food, storing up cases of water, jugs of water, and ways to purify that water are paramount and must be done. That must be a priority to put food back. I don't care if it's canned foods. I don't care if it's boxed, foods, bagged foods, noodles, rice, beans, grain, put sugar, salt, all that sort of thing back. Look up what you can store almost indefinitely, and there's quite a few items. Vinegar, sugar, honey, salt. Stock up on those things. They're all spices last a long time, even though, there's an expiration date or use by date. If stored properly, they will last a long time. Same with canned foods. There's a use by date, sell by date, expiration date, but that's all basically a best by date. They can guarantee the quality until that date, but that food will last a lot longer than that. If stored properly, canned goods could last indefinitely, and that is one thing that I bank on here is canned vegetables, fruits, soups, and all that sort of thing. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, and if you're new to the channel or you are not subscribed to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button because we will be back on a daily basis for more. Thanks, guys, and have a good night.